Hi, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video course is very special. It's 99 mistakes in English, but not for beginners, but for high levels, intermediate, upper intermediate, and advanced. So I remember that you asked more lessons for high levels, and if you support this idea, we can make a playlist for intermediate students on grammar and vocabulary, and also for beginners. Okay, and you know that we have a great video, 200 mistakes in English, right? And also have a look at 111 mistakes in English for beginners. However, this video is different. It's for higher levels. So really, you'll see new mistakes and new sentences, new examples for intermediate, upper intermediate, and advanced levels. Okay? So can you find all these mistakes? It's a very good and interesting question. So you know that you can make a pause. Yeah, you can stop the video and try to do it. You can try to find these mistakes. Yeah, check your knowledge. Check your knowledge. So let's speak English correctly. It's very important to do it. Okay? So the first one. Okay, so I'll read it and try to find this mistake, try to correct it. So each of these sentences actually contains contains a mistake. So there is a mistake in each of these sentences. Okay, so if I would have $1 million, I would buy a house in the center of the city. Okay, look, if I would have $1 million, I would buy a house in the center of the city. Yeah, a good idea. So do you have these, these $1 million? So if not, I think not, so it's in our imagination, and if we imagine, we imagine it, and we talk about the present, so it's unreal, so if so, you need to use the second conditional, Do you remember how we form it? So if plus past simple, in the first part, and then would or could, plus would or could plus verb. Okay, so it's the second conditional. Please remember. So if plus past simple, so the verb is have. So how to say it in past simple? Have. It's had. Okay, so it's had, and you need to say if I had. Okay, so if I had $1 million, I would buy a house in the center of the city, right? Would plus verb. It's correct, okay? So it's correct now. If I had $1 million, I would buy a house in the center of the city. So we imagine, so it's present and real, the second conditional, right? If plus past simple, would or could plus verb. Okay, next. So whenever you will be, I'll miss you. So what does it mean? Whenever? Who knows? So it doesn't mean where you are, or it doesn't matter actually. Where you'll be doesn't matter. So maybe you'll be in my city or in another city, so in this country or in another country. So I'll miss you, I love you. So the idea is clear. The problem is grammar, right? So what is wrong? Who knows? Well, you need to remember that if you have whenever, so you need to use present simple. Although you talk about the future, so you need to correct it. So whenever you are, right? So you're talking about the future. We see it looking at the second part of the sentence. I'll miss you, but we need to use present simple in the first part of the sentence. So whenever you are, I'll miss you. Okay, well done. So what is next? I want you go to the party with us. Okay, I want you go to the party with us. So the idea is clear that I'm going to the party, and it's a good idea if you join me. Okay, so that is clear. So what's incorrect? So you need to remember the structure. Want somebody to do something. Okay, so want somebody to do something. So you need to put to before a verb to. Okay, so I want you to go to the party. Then you say I want you to go to the party. It means that I'll be happy if you join me, if you go there. Okay, I want you to go to the party. Well, so number 4, he was breaking his leg while he was working in the garden. Well, it's in the past, you see. So it's past continuous. You see past continuous. In the first part of the sentence, or in the first clause and in the second clause. But we need to understand, really, is it really so? Okay, so he was breaking his leg while he was working in the garden. Okay, so he was working in the garden. So I think it's a long action. And he was breaking his leg. Well, you know that I don't think that it's a long action. I think it's a short action, So I can't say that he was breaking his leg. So it happened. It happened, very quickly. So it's a short action. And, if it's a short action, we need to use another tense. Not past continuous, but past simple, right? So you need to say he broke. Okay, he broke his leg while, so you see it's past simple. He broke his leg while he was working in the garden. So it's past continuous, okay? So he was working in the garden, and then suddenly he broke his leg, okay? Yeah, that's clear. Next, so I very much enjoyed the party. So enjoyed means that I really liked it, okay? So can you see this mistake? It's about the word order. It's about the correct or the right word order, okay? So we say very much, we put it in the end. So I enjoyed the party very much. So this way, I enjoyed the party very much, yeah? Okay, we put it in the end. Well, so the next mistake is very common. It's, this mistake, or, this mistake is very common. Okay, what other words do you know which mean more or less the same, okay? So this mistake is very, what? Is very common, or if you don't know this word, what other words can you actually say instead, which has a similar meaning? So word which has a similar meaning, common, or widespread, or typical. So this mistake is very common. This mistake is very widespread. This mistake is very typical. Please remember one thing, really, it's very important. So if the action, started in the past and it's still happening now, you need to use present perfect continuous. So let's write it down. So very important information, extremely important information, okay? So if the action started happening in the past, or started in the past, and it's still happening, or it's still going on, or happening, so it's the same, or we need to use present perfect continuous, okay? We need to use, so present perfect continuous, and you see that this word, or these two words, okay, how long, or this phrase, this short phrase, tells us about it. So we use present perfect continuous with how long, okay? Really, look, if the action started in the past and it's still going on, or it's still happening, we use present perfect continuous. The problem is that students continue making this kind of mistake again and again. So we often, use this kind of question in our daily English conversation, how long, and really, I believe that it's better, to learn most common English mistakes, and you won't make these mistakes any longer. So it's so important, right? So please remember one thing, how long. So if you have how long and the action started in the past, and it's still happening, so you need to use present perfect continuous, okay? So let's speak English, not only fluently, but correctly or accurately. Well, good. So, and we say, so how long have you been? Then you need to add verb. Then you need to add a verb plus ing. Then you need to add a verb plus ing. Okay. So as you see, as you understand, okay, as you guess, so as you might know, so how long have you been plus verb plus ing. Okay. So you see, how long have you been? If it's if it's about you, if it's about it, how long has it been? Okay, so how long has it been raining? How long has it been raining? Okay, really great job. My congratulations. Okay, how long has it been raining? Well done. Please remember it. Not this way. It's incorrect. I hope you understand it. You just need to remember this rule, okay? So if the action started in the past and it's still going on or happening, you need to use present perfect continuous. So we use it with how long. Okay? So how long did you wait for me? How long did you wait for me? So it's the same situation. So you need to use how long have you been plus verb plus ing. So you need to use this structure, okay? So how long have you? How will you say it? Please tell me. How long have you? What is next? Been, verb, wait, plus ing, waiting. How long have you been waiting for me? Okay, only this way, okay? Next, how long did you stay here? It's the same mistake, okay? So how will you say it correctly? How long have you been staying here? How long have you been staying here? So it's correct now. Well, so what is next? So how long are you here? And how long do you work here? So you know that this sentence, number 9, is a little bit more difficult, and you will see why. So I hope that you understood this rule and you can use it very effectively. Anyway, try to say it correctly, okay? So how long have you? Look, some students try to say it this way. How long have you been plus verb? So what verb? Be in. Yes, here. But we can't say so. So normally we don't use, normally we don't use, be in continuous. So if we don't use a verb, if we don't use this or that verb in continuous, we need to use present perfect instead. Okay, so we use present perfect if if a verb doesn't have a continuous form, doesn't have a continuous form. Okay, doesn't have a continuous form, or we use present perfect. So not this structure, but this structure. So what is present perfect? How long have you plus the third form, or we also call it, past participle. We also call it past participle. So it's a very important thing. Okay, so how long have you, and past participle of be is been. So how long have you been here? Only this way. So it's very important to understand English grammar, but to be honest, I think it isn't so difficult. Yeah, so the rules are quite simple. You just need to understand them. Well, the next sentence: how long do you work here? How long do you work here? So you know the structure, and you need to say how long have you been working here? How long have you been working here? So you see, only this way. How long have you been working here? Well, next. So what is next? How long do you learn English, and how long are you married? Okay, so I think that this sentence is quite simple. Just keep in mind, this structure. Okay, so you see, and I hope you understood it very clearly, that we need to say how long, then have you been plus verb. So what verb? Learn plus ing. How long have you been learning English? And I can say, for example, for 5 years. For 5 years, okay? For 5 years. Well, so the second sentence, how long are you married? So can you correct this sentence? Can you correct the sentence? It's really more difficult, so I'll help you. Don't worry. So we have this verb be. So to be married, you see, the form of to be are, and we need to use this rule. So if this verb doesn't have a continuous form, you need to use present perfect. So how long have you plus past participle. Okay, so how long have you been? How long have you been married? How long have you been married? So only this way, So our correct sentences are the following: how long have you been learning English? Right, so we remember this structure. And we also remember one more structure if a verb doesn't have a continuous form. Okay, so how long have you been married? How long have you been married? Well, okay, so what is next? How long have you been knowing each other? Well, if you look at the sentence, you may think it's correct. You see the structure: how long have you been, verb plus ing. But you also need to know that this verb doesn't have a continuous form, So you need to say, what? So first of all, we need to remember this structure. How long have you been? How long have you been? Oh, why how long have you been? So we need to remember this structure. So what structure? How long have you? So let's this structure. How long have you been? How long have you been? Or how long have you been? Or how long have plus subject plus past participle. Okay, we can type it again, no problem. Okay, so how long have you plus past participle, or plus the third form, plus past participle, or plus the third form. So know is the first form. So what is the second form? You. And what is the third form? It's known, or we also call it past participle. So you need to use this structure, and let's correct it. So how long have you known? How long have you known? Okay, how long have you known each other? Well done. Well, the second sentence is I learned English for 7 months. Well, it's the same rule. So you need to remember that such phrases, such words as how long, for, and since, so often tell us that we need to use a present perfect continuous. But the most important thing is the following: so if the action started in the past and is still going on, we need to use present perfect continuous. So this is the most important rule. Okay, so really, I started learning English 7 months ago, and I'm still doing it. I'm still learning English. So we see the idea of present perfect continuous. We also see for. These words often tell us that we need to use this tense. So let's correct it. We just need to know how we form present perfect continuous. I think it isn't so easy. The most difficult thing is to understand that we need to use this tense. So the formation of this tense isn't so difficult. Has been plus verb plus ing. So, and you will say I have been, the verb learn plus ing. I have been learning English. I have been learning English for 7 months. Okay, well done. So it's correct now, but not this way. Not this way. As you understand, it's incorrect. So not present simple. We need to use present perfect continuous. Well, so 15, I didn't see you from last year. Okay, so what is wrong? So we need to say since last year, since last month, okay, since last week, and so on. And you know, it's also true. And so you see that we need to use another tense. Yeah, right. So it's also true now. So we see with the connection with the present. So we see this word since, and this word tells us that we need to use present perfect. Present perfect. I hope you remember how we form this tense. Have or has plus past participle. Have or has plus past participle. Okay. So I haven't seen you. I haven't seen you since. Yeah, not from, since last year. I haven't seen you since last year. I haven't seen you since last year. So haven't seen and since. So two mistakes. We see two mistakes in this sentence. Well, as usually, I went to bed late. Yeah, you know, it's a good phrase, but you need to be more precise. So we say as usual, not as usually. We say usually, but as usual. Okay, as usual. As usual, I went to bed late. 17. It's a very huge building. So is it okay or not? So what does huge mean? It means very big. It means very big. So huge means very big. So it's a strong adjective. Strong adjective. And I also hope that you remember this rule that we can't use very with strong adjectives. So you can't say very wonderful, okay? You can't say very wonderful, okay? You can't say very amazing. So you can't say it. So you use another word instead of very. So what is this word? It's absolutely, okay? It's absolutely. So you need to use absolutely if you want to make it sound stronger. So absolutely wonderful, absolutely amazing. So this building is absolutely huge, or but generally we just say huge. It's a huge building without very. If you want to make it sound stronger, we say absolutely, but not very. It's a huge, yeah, it's a huge building. Well, next, she burst into laughing. Okay, so let's get back to one of our favorite topics, phrasal verbs. So if you need more videos on phrasal verbs, please let me know, and we'll make a new great playlist on different phrasal verbs. Get with 15 prepositions, or take with 10 or 12 prepositions. It's so easy, and we'll cover all these phrasal verbs. And I also have one more interesting idea. So let me tell you what this idea is all about, to actually record some videos on phrasal verbs related to some topics, for example, money, relationships, and so on, okay? So if it's interesting for you, please let me know. Okay, so she burst into laughing. So what does it mean? So it means that she started laughing suddenly. So it's this idea. She started laughing. She started laughing suddenly. And you just need to remember how we form these phrasal verbs. So if you have a verb, you say burst out plus verb plus ing. If you have a noun, you use burst into. Burst into plus noun. For example, burst into tears, burst into laughter. Okay, she burst into. So you have a verb. So you need to use the first one. Okay, so burst out. So you can say she burst out laughing, or she burst into, laughter. Okay, so two possible ways. She burst out laughing, or she burst into laughter. Burst out plus verb plus ing, or burst into plus noun. For example, burst into tears, laughter. Next, she burst out tears. Okay, so we know this rule. So if you have a noun, you use burst into, not burst out. Okay? She burst into tears. So, or she burst out crying. She burst out crying. It means that she started crying suddenly. Well, so the next mistake